If you would like to get this month's crystal reading for your sign for download and purchase, please click on the Vimeo link below this video in the Show More section, or visit my website, theluckymermaid.com, and the links for these videos are posted on the most recent video page. Please be sure to check out my other psychic readings for each zodiac sign I have available there as well. Thank you so much. Wish you many blessings and peace.
Hi Libra, I'm Pam, and welcome to your Psychic Tarot reading for September 2016. This month, I laid out the 5-card Rainbow Tarot spread for you using the Hobbit Tarot deck. And remember, these are general readings, and to get messages pertaining specifically for you, you would need a private reading. This recording is for Libra Sun, Libra Ascendant, and Libra Moon. Please be sure to watch your rising sign and your moon sign, because some months they will definitely resonate more for you than your sun sign will. All that being said, Libra, now on to your September 2016 reading. First card you have that shows up here today is the 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups to me is a card that symbolizes sadness, loss, and regret. There's always hope still there, but it can be a card of sadness, loss, and regret. It's also a card that can symbolize if you've had dealings with anybody that's had issues with alcohol. It could be you yourself or somebody that you've been connected to. I feel like things are getting complicated for you, and you're not really sure exactly what you're dealing with comes up here. Like some things are complicated. You may have the feeling in the month of September that things that you had tried to get set in motion seem to feel like they're stuck, stopped, or stalled. Now, as I've said in the other videos, we are in Mercury in retrograde until the 22nd of September this month. So that could be why some of these things are happening. So maybe they'll move forward once that retrograde passes. I hear that you've had it with people sticking their nose in your business or giving you their 2 cents. I feel like you don't really want to deal with that. I do feel that some Libras are busy trying to accumulate wealth, and this could be through property. Through property you're buying, also through property you're selling. And I get, if any of you have had any property where you've had some kind of damage, I see you getting assessments from insurance companies of damage and could be receiving some compensation, financial compensation for that damage of any property that you've owned also comes up here. Some of you are getting reinvigorated and reestablishing your position either at a place of business that you own or work for, or reestablishing your position in some other way, like in a family matter or in a business matter. But reestablishing your position in something comes up here. Any spotty details or any details that needed to get revisited or worked out in the month of August, I feel will be getting ironed out in the month of September. So if anything started like that in August that was spotty, scattered, not quite clear, I feel those details get ironed out for you or with you or by you in the month, this month of September. Some of you Libras are getting sworn to secrecy about something. Also, some Libras will be getting sworn into something, like sworn into a fraternity, sworn into in a legal case on the stand, sworn into a new position. If your job involves getting sworn in, that all comes up. Getting sworn into either secrecy or a position comes up for Libras in September. If you're in a position where you see a lot of people getting hired and fired, they're also saying there's some smoke and mirrors going on in this position or at this job, because some of it is they're also trying to see what other people are going to do, which sounds very confusing, and you need to listen to that, because I don't know who would do some hiring and firing as smoke and mirrors to see what people are going to do. But maybe they're not actually hiring and firing people. Maybe they're just talking about maybe that's what they're going to do to see what people will do at your place of business or employment. So that comes up here through this card of Five of Cups. Now, the next card you have here today, Libra, is the Queen of Swords. This is an unusual looking Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords to me would be an air sign female. This would either be an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, so it could be you, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. Don't be thrown that it's a queen, because men can come up as queens in general readings. I hear you have to get yourself out on the market. Start being proactive. Start selling if you have any goods or things you need to sell. Also, to get out there and start selling comes up. Some of you are putting out fires, stamping out fires, and building up a business from the ground up. They do talk about that. I feel that you want settlement now. If you're a person that's going through divorce, I feel you want that divorce settlement now. If you're going through a lawsuit or you're suing someone, I get you want that settlement now. If you're selling a property and you want, you've got an interested buyer, you want that settlement now. If you're waiting on money coming to you from a insurance company, that would be a settlement of an insurance company. You want that settlement now. Just think on what I just said here, because that applies to you in, you Libras out there in a variety of ways. I hear you're getting a lot of ground covered and covering a lot of territory. So either through your work, you are covering a lot of ground and a lot of territory, or something you're working on that's taking up a lot of your time, focus, and attention. You're getting a lot of ground covered and covering a lot of territory, figuratively speaking. So it's either literally you're covering a lot of ground and a lot of territory, or figuratively you're covering a lot of ground and a lot of territory. It just depends on what Libra you are as to how that message will apply to you. And as I always say, if these messages are not resonating with you so far, Libra, please be sure to watch your rising sign or your moon sign, because your messages may be coming to you in those signs. I get there may be a new member of the family, or a member of the family steps up and takes some kind of claim to some kind of property that you're involved with, dealing with, selling, getting, own, whatever, or have a part, or have a piece of. I get some family member steps up and takes claim to a piece of property, and I don't feel it's you. I feel it's somebody else in your family that's doing it. Now, whether you're going to like this or you're not, I don't know. I feel most of you are not going to like that, but I don't know. You might be okay with it. I get ridiculous accusations come flying out of nowhere. So I feel like you may be dealing with somebody that's kind of negative and accusatory, or has some kind of accusations come flying in this month of September. Speculative ventures and speculative things could feel like they're droning on. Either someone's droning on about them, or it's just taking forever for any kind of, anything that has speculative ventures or speculative things connected to it may feel like it's taking forever. I feel like any kind of lawsuits, settlements, or disputes of any kind in any legal cases or situations, they're getting dealt with legally looked at, analyzed, going to court about, or dealing with them in September. You may see an overturn of events. If it's already been settled, there may be some overturn of this happening. I feel like whatever you're looking at or dealing with in regard to this, that would sound like what I'm talking about here. It comes up like there's some big kind of polarity here about it, like a real division of how one side feels it should go and how another side feels it should go. It comes up like polarity. You may be getting something reinvestigated or re-looked into that has to do with what I just talked about. So you may end up researching it or having it revisited. And the next card you have here in the layout, Libra, for September 2016 is Eight of Swords. And Eight of Swords to me is a card that symbolizes being trapped. Could be trapped in an emotional prison, or it could be trapped in a situation, and there's unknown forces or unknown things about this being trapped situation. I get this feeling from you, Libra, that a lot of times you feel like just after I climb out of all this muck and mire that I'm in, something else gets dumped on top of me that pushes me back down in it all over again. I feel that that's a feeling that some of you Libras may encounter. I'm not saying all the time, but it's coming up that you may be thinking that right now in September. I get you're dealing with egos. There's egos that are involved. Bruised egos comes up. And I feel that you may have gone through a spell where you feel like, you know what, every time I open my mouth in this situation, I feel like I keep putting my foot in it. So I'm not going to say anything anymore. I feel like you're making some conscious decision, like I'm going into lockdown mode and I'm not going to say anything anymore. I'm going to button my lip and I'm going to let this thing go the way it's going and see how the chips fall where they may. Because you may feel, Libra, like you've come to a point where either you've put your foot in your mouth too many times and it's worked against you, or you just feel like, I have nothing more to say here. I've said all I have to say, so I'm shutting down and I'm not going to say anything more about it, and let's see how the chips fall where they may. Either way, Libra, I see you making that decision to keep some things to yourself, keep your cards close to your vest, or to keep quiet. I do see, like they're saying, investments bubbling up. I see you taking a look at investments. I see you looking at your investments. You may be seeing some really start to pay off and generating some good income for you. So I don't feel it's all necessarily negative while you're looking at them. But for some of you, they may be bubbling up just because you feel like I've got to start putting some time and attention into how my money's invested, or money you already have invested, how it's doing. Is it doing well? Do you want to change how it's invested? You may start looking at some of that in September. But just a word of caution, not a good month to make a lot of big decisions until the retrograde passes, because you may have an overturn and things might get reversed after it goes direct. So hold off if you can of making any big decisions until after the 22nd of September. But it's not necessarily bad to review them and look at them. It's actually a really good time to start looking at the things that they're talking about. You may find people grouping up, and this may be disturbing to you. You may see like trysts forming with people that you may think, why is that going on? Or, oh, that doesn't look like it would be good or play out well for me. This could be in any legal cases you're dealing with, or any work situations where you feel like people are like teaming up and grouping up or clicking up, and that may be unsettling to you. I'm not saying it's going to be bad in the long run. It just may feel unsettling to you when you're witnessing it. I do feel that you may feel that there's a great divide or a great gap in between what you feel you should be getting and what you are seeing it looks like you will be getting. You may be like, this is nowhere near the amount I was supposed to get, or what if it's a court case and it's a lawsuit, or if it's a divorce settlement, or it's some other kind of issue, maybe if it's a disability, case or some, maybe workman's comp or whatever, you may be presented with some kind of amount that you feel like, wow, this is a great divide to me. I feel like I should be over here and getting this, and you're telling me it's going to be that. So you may have a lawyer redo this or look it over all over again, like get a second opinion, because I see you wanting it to be reviewed. Like, this can't be right. This has to be re-examined is what I feel. Because I do have to be honest with you, Libra, I do feel like if you're involved in that situation and this scenario applies to you, you may feel let down, like it's a letdown. So you want it to be re-looked at, reopened, re-examined. So I don't want to give you a depressing reading. Please don't be mad at me. I know you guys don't like it when I say negative things, but you know what? These messages are only going to apply to you if you have some kind of legal case pending or possibly a work situation where this could be applying to. These messages are not going to apply to all you Libras. So if you feel like these don't make sense to me, please go watch your rising sign and your moon sign, because you could be getting your messages coming to you there. So the next card you have here in your reading. So the next card you have here in the reading, you have the Fool. And the Fool is starting out on a new path and a new journey with high hopes and high aspirations, but you have to watch your step. Be careful of your step. You need to be grounded. You don't want to be blindsided. Like, if you're not paying attention, you want to have your wits about you. So let's see why the Fool is here for you. You may be feeling like some things that have been going on in your life have created a lot of disharmony. You may not like that, and you want peace and contentment and things to settle down. You also, I feel like you're listening to someone lying. Now, this could be in a lawsuit or in some kind of, I go back to that legal case, but it could be in some other way. You may feel like there's too much disruption, or there have been some unethical things that have been going on, and you've been listening to some people lying. That also comes up here. You may feel like there's been some jealousy and some resentment or some not really nice comments directed at you or said about you. But I feel like some of it you may be looking at, well, they have jealousy or they have envy. I feel like that's the root of some of this, any negativity that you may have experienced coming at you. I see you getting involved in a new dynamic and a new plan. A new dynamic or a new plan comes up for you. I feel like it's going to be refueling this situation with a new kind of fire. And you may be stepping aside or stepping out of it completely and letting, either business people or lawyers or other people handle it. Like, you may take a step back. Remember how I said, not saying anything and letting the chips fall where they may? That kind of sense is coming up all over again, a little differently. I do feel that a new fire gets ignited into this situation that's going to fuel it and help it to change or be reworked. That's my feeling about that. I don't feel like anything that you're working at or dealing with right now that sounds like what I've been talking about gets solved, finished, or settled in the month of September. I feel like it has a few more months till it gets completely settled and dealt with and finished and done. I feel like someone new comes in. They're saying a new master of ceremonies. This could be, if it's a court case, it could be a new judge. It could be new lawyers, but I get a new master of ceremonies. For some of you, this could be in some kind of job-related situation. Maybe a new boss is coming in, or somebody new, somebody's buying the company and it's going to be a new CEO or a new owner. But whatever the new master of ceremonies is, you got to think about that, Libra, about how it applies to you in this situation. But as I said, a new fire gets lit and a situation gets reignited and flames up and a new master of ceremonies is coming in. For however that's going to make sense to you, you just need to figure that out. I do see a new idea coming up that sparks either a new train of thought or a new avenue to pursue, or just a good new idea comes up, whether it comes up in you or somebody you're dealing with or working with or coupled with. Somebody comes up here with a new idea that's kind of like breathes new life and sheds new light onto the situation that's been discussed through this reading here. So the last card you have for this reading here today, Libra, is the Tower. You have the Tower. And the Tower to me can be an actual fire or lightning strike to a business or home that could, have something physically happen to it. It can indicate a fight, an argument with someone that you are in a relationship with, or just any kind of fight or an argument. Could end a friendship, could end a relationship. It's an explosive kind of fight. It can also be a casting off of an old paradigm or an old way of doing things, or old mythologies, old methodologies of doing things. And now new paradigms and new ways of doing things could come up with the Tower. I feel like you do have to have your wits about you, and I do feel you need to be prepared for any kind of big shakedown that could be coming up. If you're in a lawsuit, it could be coming from the other party. If you are at work, there could be some shake up of in the business that could be happening, somebody buying the company, some new company coming in and taking over the business or company that you work for. That could create some shakedown or shake up. It's like that kind of sensation that's coming up here through the card. Everything gets turned over. I feel like a lot of things get ripped apart, looked into, investigated. If you could be working for a company or a business where there's some kind of indictments going on, and so the FBI or CIA comes in and starts ripping things apart and investigating and looking into stuff and getting legal teams involved. It could happen at a company or business where you work. That those kind of things are even coming up here with the Tower. I feel like there's a lot of caustic words being said, and people may be feeling like they're running for their lives in this situation. Like, I've got to get out of here. So if you're working for a company that comes under some kind of government investigation or scrutiny, you may be like, I am getting out of here. This company's going to go under, or, if it's being investigated, or maybe if it's just getting taken over by another company or a new owner, maybe you don't like who they are or how they're going to change the business or run it. And a lot of people there may feel like, we're out of here. We don't want this change, or we don't like what's happening. So it's all going to be different. It's it's a big event. I do feel this is, whatever this is talking about, that you're going to witness or be dealing with, it is a big event. I cannot lie. I do not manipulate these cards. I shuffle them many, many times and say your sign over and over and over again for the month, whatever month we're in. And these are the 5 cards that came up. So the Tower is indicating there is going to be some kind of shake up, shakedown, disruption. It's coming up in this month of September. There's definitely going to be changes. There's definitely going to be big changes and a new order that's coming down especially if it's in a place where you work. It feels like that. Or if it's a legality and legal case that you're involved in, it's dealing with that. I do feel like there's going to be a giant leap of discovery of something that comes to light for this, whatever the situation is in your life that's happening in September. And I feel like restructuring needs to happen. So either a company or business that you work for is going to be restructured, or if it's a legal case or a legal situation you're involved in, that's going to get restructured. So you may want to listen to this all over again, Libra. You had some, I have to say, out of the signs that I've done so far, really all of the ones I've done so far, big things are occurring for people in September. So don't feel like you're alone. You're not the only one that's getting this kind of situation that may sound like it's got an impact. Each of the signs I've done up to this point have all had it in some way or another. You're getting it either in a business, work-related, company you work for sense, or if you're dealing with legal issues. It seems to circle around one of those two areas. So if this reading didn't make sense to you, as I always say, please be sure to watch your rising sign and your moon sign, because your messages may be coming to you there. And I have people that write me all the time that say, my sun sign didn't make sense, but when I listened to my rising sign, my messages were coming to me there. Or, wow, I'm glad I listened to my moon sign, because this month my moon sign was really making sense. I have to say, I did have this sense, I did feel this before I started doing any of these readings, that people's moon signs this month were going to make sense to them. So if you know your moon sign, and you don't need to know your birth time, exact birth time for a moon sign. Your moon sign goes, I feel, covers a longer period of time, where rising sign, you do ascendant, which is rising sign, you do have to know your birth time. But with your moon sign, I don't think you have to know that. I could be wrong, and astrologers, please correct me if I'm right. But I have had people tell me that if they didn't know their rising sign, they were able to find out their moon sign anyway. So you may want to check out your moon sign. So I hope this reading was of help to you. I certainly hope it made sense. I want to thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking my videos. Thank you for subscribing and for Google Plusing. I do truly appreciate that. Please remember, Libra, I always give you messages to give you a heads up if you feel like they're negative. I am saying to you, you never know. Maybe forewarned is being forearmed. So keep that in mind. If you feel like I'm giving you messages that sound negative, your guides, some reason, wanted you to know this, things that are coming up. So I want to thank you so much for Google Plusing. Thank you for subscribing. I do truly appreciate that. Please do remember to subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I post my readings each month. And if you would like to get a continuation of this reading, Libra, where I look into my crystal for you to see what additional messages will come up, please click on the link below in the Show More section, and it will take you to my Vimeo videos on demand page for September 2016 crystal reading for download and purchase. You can also access these videos by going to my website, www.theluckymermaid.com, and clicking on the videos tab on my menu and going to page 7, and you will see the heading there at the top of page 7, September 2016 crystal readings for each sign of the zodiac. You just click on your sign and it will take you to that video. Also, please be sure to follow me on Facebook. I do post things there almost daily that you won't be able to see here. I pull cards and put quotes up there from some metaphysical books and information that you may be interested in. So please be sure to check that out. Also to follow me on Twitter. I hope you have a spectacular month of September, Libra, and know that I wish you many blessings and peace.